I'm Chris Clark, President and CEO of the Queen Creek Chamber of Commerce, and this is Meet the Candidate. Today we're joined by Jack Sellers, Chairman of the County Board of Supervisors for Maricopa County. Welcome, Jack.
Well, I'm very happy to be here. And as you know, Queen Creek is probably the fastest growing area in my district, so I take an extreme interest in ensuring that we're doing the things that are right for Queen Creek as we go forward.
And you have quite the diverse background, so tell us a little bit about how you got to be chair of the supervisors.
Well, I got to be chair of the supervisors because the other board members elect a chair every year. But I think probably as importantly, or maybe even more importantly, I was chair of the State Transportation Board. And as you well know, you can't talk about Queen Creek without talking about Pinal County. And the contacts and the influence and the respect I have in Pinal County is what sets me apart from other people that are looking to do this job, because we really need to be working together with Pinal County to resolve what's already a traffic congestion problem in Queen Creek, and it's going to get much, much worse because of the growth we have going on here. Gosh, you know, $5 billion in one company investing in this area. We really need to be working towards ensuring that we have the proper critical infrastructure to support that. And again, Queen Creek is adjacent to Gateway Airport, which is another phenomenal growth story with Skybridge there. Just a lot of exciting things going on out here, and I'm just so delighted to be able to work with you and ensure we're on the right track going forward.
Transportation is a big key, and Maricopa County, when Queen Creek first incorporated, Maricopa County retained the roads so that Queen Creek could slowly absorb those as they built up their finances. And so we still have some transportation that we need to do with the counties, and you just alluded to that. So it's now reached a point where it's intergovernmental agreements that make that happen. How do you see that playing out over the next few years?
Well, and again, that is so critical that, typically the roads that Queen Creek needs to have the county continue to help them with don't just impact Queen Creek, they impact Gilbert and the surrounding communities, and even impact Pinal. And so from my perspective, it's really important that you have a person working with you that really gets all of that and can help provide the bridge that brings everybody together and gets everybody on the same page to ensure that we don't have a road that stops at a county line or stops at a municipal line, that they really do provide continuity to serve all of our residents. And I think another good example of that is, Maricopa County's public safety was covered by the Sheriff's Department, and you've recently finally gotten large enough where you can afford to have your own police department. And I think that the Sheriff's Office really worked closely with you and continues to work with Queen Creek in that transition. And those kind of things are really important as we grow. The unincorporated areas of Maricopa County are really quite small. I hear people talking about the county being, the supervisors' districts being too large. I think that the thing they don't understand is that it's not my job to come to Queen Creek and tell you how to run your town. It's not my job to tell Chandler how to run their city. My job is to provide that bridge and ensure that the unincorporated areas are part of the conversation.
And speaking of that, since you've been on the Board of Supervisors, what do you see as the biggest role for the County Board of Supervisors?
Well, the largest part of our budget is still public safety. And that includes the county attorney's office, the sheriff's office, obviously, the court system. So it's really important that we pay attention to how we're serving all of our municipalities with those functions that are really a large part of our budget. Again, for me, it's important that I understand all of that, being a county supervisor, and not neglect any of it. But my areas of specialty are still in the transportation infrastructure, in transportation systems, water, and now more and more so even air quality, because we're a non-attainment area, and that could impact our economic expansion. And rather than fight with people that could delay things, I'm working on establishing the trust and the contacts that we need to ensure that we get the changes made that allow us to continue moving forward. The CHIPS Act is helping some here with expansion like at Intel and certainly at TSMC. And that's a part of our national security, to have those chips manufactured, and we're so fortunate to have that going on in Arizona. We just need to ensure that we have people working to, I'm going to say ensure another time, ensure that we don't have roadblocks that slow that progress down. And even attracting that CHIPS Act money or CHIPS Act manufacturing into this area goes back to something I've been involved in for a long time. And TSMC is not in Queen Creek, it's not even in my district, but it has a huge impact on our entire region because of the support industries that it attracts into this area. And part of the reason that we have a TSMC investing so much in Arizona is because of the relationship we established prior to these investments. A number of years ago, Tainan, Taiwan brought a Little League team into Chandler to play against our Chandler National All-Stars, who had been state champions 3 years in a row. And while they were here, they invited me to take our All-Star team to play in a tournament in Tainan. And long story short, I did that. Took 15, 12-year-old boys to Tainan, Taiwan. But while I was there, I met the mayor of Tainan and became friends with him. And oh, by the way, he's now the president of Taiwan. While I was chair of the State Transportation Board, the Taiwanese consulate in LA called me and said, Jack, would you meet with us at the Motor Vehicle Department to help us get a reciprocal driver's license agreement with Arizona? And I said, sure, I'll do that. So I went down there and met with them. And while we were there talking to this young lady they had been dealing with in their last 2 or 3 visits, an older lady came in and had a stack of books. And she said, all right, folks, I'm going to cut to the chase. If you'll make the same agreements with us that you've made with 8 other states that you have this license agreement with, Mr. Sellers and I can get this done for you. They said, gosh, we've already done it. And they said, okay, I'm going to give the changes to Chairman Sellers, work with him, and we can get this done. Those kinds of things really play a huge role in why companies decide to locate in a certain area. Of course, we need to have other things that are business friendly going on here, and the chambers play a key role in that. And that's why I stay so involved with our chambers. Our chambers are very important to me because they really are the voice of our businesses. And how else could I have a good communication with what the businesses need and what they feel our problems are unless I really stay engaged with our chambers? And it amuses me some that some people don't even pay attention to chambers until they're a candidate for office. But as you know, I've been involved with the chamber the whole time I've been in any kind of elected office, whether there's a campaign going on or not.
Yeah, you are a regular attendee at our events, so we appreciate that. Tell us about county finances. Where are we there?
We just approved about a $4 billion budget. And again, like I said, half of that is for public safety. But the key to that is, for the last 4 years in a row, we have cut our share of property taxes. And in fact, we've done that all but 1 year that I've been on the Board of Supervisors. This coming year, we're cutting our share of the property tax by 11% without doing anything negative for public safety. And that's because we've done a number of things to improve the efficiency of county government. And some of this happened probably because of COVID, when we discovered that maybe not everybody needs to come to the court system to file their paperwork. A lot of that can be done online. We have set up permit centers now that you may or may not ever have to visit, drastically improving efficiency both for the public and for the county. So, really proud of what we've been able to do. We're not only the fastest growing county in the United States, but one of the best run. And I think we just got something like 70 awards from the National Association of Counties for the way we run our government.
I have seen those, and as long as you're talking about that, I think one of the interesting things is how big the county is overall, geographically, bigger than 6 states.
Yeah, we are the 4th largest county in the United States, and for me, that it's particularly interesting that we could be that large and be so well run and so efficient in everything we do. People ask me when I go, and I'm a vice chair of the large urban county caucus for the National Association of Counties, and people ask me if I learn a lot by going there, and I said I learn things from going there because that's the reason I belong, but the other counties learn more from us than we do from them, because people everywhere we go talk to us about, tell us how to do this, help us with this, because we are so well run and so efficient.
Is there anything that we haven't covered that you wanted to bring about, talking about the campaign or the job?
I had served 6 years on the State Transportation Board as chairman 1 year. I had served as chair of the Maricopa Association of Governments Transportation Policy Committee, and through that had established a lot of contacts and a lot of influence that really, really matter in getting these things done. And I'm somewhat amused when I look at people campaigning saying, well, I'm going to provide new ideas, new opportunities, new innovation. What could they have done that would have attracted $90 billion in expansion into Maricopa County? And I'm especially proud of the work I'm doing with Queen Creek, because who else has the contacts and influence in Pinal County that I have? And that came about partly because I was on the State Transportation Board, and then as a county supervisor, it turns out that in Pinal County, most of the government activity is done by their supervisors rather than the municipalities. In Maricopa County, from my perspective, my primary job is to provide a bridge between my municipalities and the unincorporated areas, and ensure that we are all getting the same information, staying on the same page, and helping each other to ensure that we're maintaining the quality of life that makes us so attractive for companies and people to want to live here. So, I'm just really proud of what I've accomplished, and the reason I'm running for re-election is because we're right now at an extremely critical point in ensuring that we have the critical infrastructure, both transportation and water, to get us in line with the expansion that's currently going on. And I don't think anyone else has the contacts and the influence that I have that can help us accomplish that. Well, as you know, I love what I'm doing. I feel like it's really, really important for me to keep doing what I'm doing right now because of the contacts, the respect, and the influence that I've gained at all levels of government. And again, the work I do, the majority of the work I do should be non-political. I mean, when you talk about transportation infrastructure, when you talk about water, when you talk about even about air quality, about health services, those really and truly should never be political. And public safety, to me, should not be a political discussion either. So I feel like I'm well positioned to continue what I'm doing. The reason I'm running for re-election is there's work still to be done, and we're at a critical point in our future.
How do people find more information about you?
You can go to electjacksellers.com, my website, or you can email me at jack@electjacksellers.com, and I'll answer your questions. And you can show up at a Chamber of Commerce event, and I'm happy to answer any questions there. And again, I talk about how little the things I work on are political. No matter what party you belong to, you're going to get the same answer from me. I really and truly just try to be open and honest with everybody I talk to about where I stand. And the important thing to me is this really is not about me. It's about me listening to people and understanding what they're concerned about and what their needs are and representing them. It's not about whatever preformed opinion I have. It's about me listening to you and knowing what you consider to be issues and working on that.
Well, Jack, we appreciate you being here. We'll put that website up so people can find it. And thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Happy to be here.